Hello everyone and welcome to the next in our series of daily origami for YouTube. Today we're going to continue making items for Tanabata, or the Star Festival, which is tomorrow, the 7th of July. Today we're going to make another item to hang on the branch of bamboo, and that's going to be ring streamers. These are a very common decoration that is used for Tanabata, and the reason they're so common is because they're so easy to make. We make them in the States all the time, whether it be for Christmas or birthday decorations. It's a very simple project that even really small children can do, especially if the paper is prepared beforehand. So the project today will be very simple, but the results can be very pretty depending on the kind of paper you use. So first we're going to do just a really traditional ring streamer, and to do that we're going to need about at least 5 pieces of origami paper. Now the branches, depending on how you're displaying, if you're just doing a really small branch in the home, usually you see a streamer that contains just a few loops, or it depends on how wide you're doing your rings. So we're not looking at making things super long. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cut my origami paper into fourths, strips, not squares but strips. So I'll fold my paper in half, fold it into the center line, and fold the other into the center line as well. And I'm going to use this paper and the folds I just made as a guideline for cutting my pieces of paper. I'll just go ahead and do these all together. If you want this to be a really exact cut, you can of course use a paper cutter. Like I said, small children can do this. These papers don't need to be exact to still make things look pretty when you put them all together. So when I'm finished with that, then it's just a really When I'm finished with that, then it's just a real easy process of stringing these rings together to make a streamer. And you'll need a little bit of tape, of course, for this as well. And we just simply put the first ring together. So. And then just weave the second one through. And we just keep continuing doing this until we put them all together. You can also choose, of course, to make the paper even thinner. As you can see with this that I've done with 1/4 of the width, you have a fairly fat kind of style. I'll show you what it would look like if we were to do one that's a little thinner here. I'll cut it into 8s. So you can see when you use the thinner cuts, then you get something that looks like this, with it appearing quite a bit longer even though you're using less paper, and this moves a little bit more, whereas this is a little stiffer kind of contraption. So either way works really good for creating these ring streamers to put on the bamboo branch. Now if you're doing an outdoor decoration setup, this kind of simple ring streamer isn't going to hold up to strong winds, and of course the problem we always have here in Japan, a lot of rain. People don't usually leave the decorations outside, but if you do want to have them be able to withstand a little tiny bit of rain and strong winds, then a different style and approach is best, and I'll show you what that looks like now. Here, we'll go ahead and move these guys to the side. Next style, I'm just going to start off here with 5 different colors of paper, and we'll just put it together and see. Oops, got an extra one here. We'll put it together and see to kind of give you an idea of how it looks here. It's a pretty simple process. All you do is we're going to turn our paper over, and we're going to almost fold all the way to the top. Just going to leave ourselves a little bit of white here. That gives us a little exposed edge. And then I'm going to turn the paper over, and I'm just going to start folding, and then this fold here is going to determine the width of your ring. I'm going to go ahead and make mine about this big. And you just want to keep folding up. You'll notice the nice effect we get from that exposed white area. We get a nice striped looking ring then. When you're done at the end, go ahead and put a piece of tape to tack down those edges right here. This creates a really nice stiff and yet colorful base that we can use for the ring. And we just turn it around here, kind of work it, since it will need to be kind of squished down a bit to make it more like a ring. And what I like to do is I like to tuck one of my corners into here just to make it look more attractive. You can decide how far in you want to go. And then I'm going to put a piece of tape to secure that. And that's the first of our rings completed then. And then we just do the same process with the other pieces of paper. And then I have my 5 pieces together, the one ring I've already put together. Then I'm just going to, again, construct this through, since I've already made one here. And kind of bend that around to make it more like a ring. And secure your paper in place with a piece of tape. And just piece those together here. And when you're finished, you should have something that looks like this. As you can tell, it's a lot more sturdy. It can handle some of the stronger winds from being outside, and even a little bit of rain probably wouldn't really affect it very much. So this is another variation on the ring streamer. And so you have a few different varieties and choices for your decorations then for Tanabata. And also really fun and easy project to do, especially with smaller children. So that is our completed project for today, ring streamers. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.